I decided to stop at the local video store. I ended up with this little gem. Welcome to Video Rental Chaos. John Carpenter is widely accepted today as the master of horror. Along this journey, Carpenter made, in my opinion, one of the best films of all time, and that is Escape from New York. Great visuals, an amazing score, and an all-star cast. John Carpenter doesn't miss a beat during this 99-minute film. Now let's go ahead and jump right on in. The film begins in the year 1988. The crime has become so bad that the government has deemed that Manhattan will now house the United States criminal prisoners. Walled off from the rest of the world, men and women are sent to New York to rot. Now fast forward to the year 1997. We are introduced to a former Special Force soldier, Snake Plissken, and he's being escorted into the facility seemingly on his way to Manhattan prison to serve a life sentence for robbing the Federal Reserve. We find out a mysterious aircraft is traveling. We come to find out that this is none other than President John Harker. Air Force One has been hijacked by the Workers' Right Brigade, since they were en route to an international summit where the president was to play a tape that was to avoid our nations from descending into World War III. The president is handcuffed to the briefcase and is dropped in a pretty awesome egg-shaped pod left over from the 1970s. Once they have confirmation that the president has landed, the police chopper onto the island in an effort to save the president. Unfortunately, they're too late, as by the time they arrive, the president is nowhere to be found. Romero, now the Duke of New York's right-hand man, comes walking down the street. He shows off the president's finger and, he wants to warn the police that, hey, if you try to rescue the president again, they will kill him for sure. Police Commissioner Bob Hulk has to think fast on how he's going to save the president. He quickly puts a plan together and offers Snake a full pardon if he could just go into the prison and help save the world by saving the commander-in-chief. We all know Snake's answer. Get a new president. Snake realizes quickly, though, that this may be his only way out of a life sentence here. But there's a twist. Snake is shot up with something that will cause his arteries to explode if he doesn't rescue the president in time. Snake is equipped with weapons and the use of a stealth glider to land on top of the World Trade Center. With the tracker that Hulk gave Snake, he's able to track down the president to an old-timey theater. So along the way, Snake does meet the man that knows everyone, and that's, of course, Cabby! Snake makes his way into the theater's basement where he's able to find the tractor, but no president. Thinking that they were totally fucked, Snake wants out. He is forced to continue the journey through New York and is almost taken down by the crazies that live in the subways. In the process, though, Snake does lose his radio contact with Hulk. Cabby comes out of nowhere and rescues Snake and is able to tell him that the president is alive and is being held captive by the A1 Duke of New York. In order to find out where exactly the president is, Cabby takes Snake to Brain, who's a master whiz and is a valuable asset to the Duke. Come to find out, Snake knows this dude, as Brain had ditched Snakes back in Kansas like 4 years ago. Talk about full circle! So Brain does let Snake in on the plan that the Duke is going to be using the president tomorrow to cross the 69th bridge to gain freedom for all the prisoners. So they all reluctantly agree to take Snake to the Duke's headquarters at Grand Central Terminal. With the help of Brain, Snake almost rescues the president but gets shot with an arrow in the leg. He's then captured by the Duke. We see that during a relaxing game of target practice with the Duke, they shoot the briefcase open and find the tape that can, help lead to world peace. Snake is now forced to fight Slag in a straight-up death match. Slag is Duke's best fighter, and Duke does promise to hold Snake's head on the hood of his car when they drive over the 69th bridge the following day. While this is happening, Brain and Maggie are able to again rescue the president by killing Romero and the Duke's other henchmen. Also, they figured out where Snake's glider had landed and planned to use the president to secure their own freedom. Much to the surprise of the Duke, Snake successfully fights Slag to the death. This is when they discover that Brain had killed Romero and taken the president. So Snake figures it out and heads straight to the World Trade Center. By the time he makes it to the top, Brain, Maggie, and the president are already in a shootout with other prisoners, who I guess must have followed them up there? Snake and the group fend off the prisoners, but their glider is thrown off the side of the building. Right in the nick of time again, Cabby rolls up and BAM! Has the tape containing the nuclear fusion information. But we're not out of the woods yet. They're being followed by the A No. 1 Duke of New York, while Brain tries to guide Snake away from mines. Sadly, they hit one and Cabby is killed. Then Brain hits a mine and, well, he's dead too. Maggie's in shock. Snake tries to tell her to keep moving, but she knows she can't go on without Brain. So Maggie takes the gun from Snake and unloads it on the Duke's car. None of her shots connect and she's killed, but she was able to allow the President and Snake to get to the wall. Quickly, the President is lifted to safety. Duke and Snake face off, and you think Snake's about to get away when the line stops on the wench. Out of nowhere, gunshots rain down as the President is killing the Duke of New York. Finally, Snake is pulled to safety, and it's a race to get the President on live TV to play the tape and save the world. Luckily, Snake gets the x-rays just in time to ensure he doesn't die either. Snake has one last question for the President. How does he feel about the people that sacrificed their lives for him today? Well, apparently Snake does not like the President's answer and swaps out the tape with one of Cabby's as the President stands there in shock. Snake walks off into the night, probably knowing that he may have just started World War III. Escape from New York rocks so much. Again, you name off the people in the movie. Kurt Russell, Lee Van Cleef, Ernest Borgnine, Donald Pleasance, Isaac Hayes, Harry Dean Stanton, Charles Cyphers, and Tom Atkins, baby. I can't get over how well the visuals come off for this movie. The way Dean Koontz shoots this film is simply amazing. The computer graphics for its time stand out so much. They say John Carpenter has a real knack when it comes to taking something super simple and getting so much out of it. Again, I go back to the score for this film. I'll say it right now. This is the best John Carpenter score for any of his films. Escape from New York is a classic that will live on for generations to come. If you don't own this movie in your own personal collection, I highly suggest that you pick it up and add it to your library right now. Tell me what you think about Escape from New York in the comments section. Until next time, I'll see you at the video store.